There's plenty sisters missing and plenty being abused. But when you look on TV, it don't be in the news. So what we gonna do is we gon' stand by and keep a gender war while watching people die. It's pretty easy to pretend that we figured out, but we can never really push a little baby out. Our sisters been here, my brother, through thick and thin, through the wickedness, yeah, even the same sin. There's no pain on this earth can compare to the way that it feels when the mother giving birth to baby. People trying to fake it but can never duplicate it. It's a whole lot of haters on this earth, fake it, they can take another reason. I don't understand how a man can rape a lady and he spend 9 months as a baby in his mama belly. I'm sorry for the pain and the suffering that you've been through. I wish I could do more for the right in this. You got a brother here, you got a hug here, you got a brother here, sister, you got a hug here. Say don't you give up, say don't you give up. You got a brother here, you got a brother here, you got a brother here. Possess the inner young clean, acting in the character. What you see is what you getting at the mass hysteria. But who the people, we belong to Allah. I ain't supposed to worship Hamashiach, but we calling on that idol. Sexual prayer boy, she'll leading many to the fire, so that whip will crack a latch up to the shadow. Look, man, I'm sick and tired of waiting, searching, looking for somebody, girl. Danger everywhere, every time we turn another murder, stuck up in his hellhole, waiting on that chain to come. Gotta do our time, but I wanna be free now. It ain't safe, no place on the earth, we get it beat down on the folk corner, many ways. Let's pray this track, get ready for the people that be praying for the sheep, that be standing for the weak, seeking to lift the weak, who been beat by this wicked system. Although the people of the land of Yahshua lay captive on the folk corner, soon to return, be encouraged. You got a brother here, you got a hug here, you got a brother here, sister, you got a hug here. Say don't you give up, say don't you give up. You got a brother here, you got a brother here, you got a brother here.
Shalom, Mashpaka. All right. It's been a long time coming. And I'm finna go ahead and get into this. And as y'all know, I told y'all I was a little bit under the weather, and I feel a little better right now. Val been praying for me, Sister Nick, y'all. Thank you for the prayer earlier. Thank you for the prayer yesterday, according to the scripture. Thank you for the prayer. And let me go ahead and get into what I was going to talk about, fam. Now, we talking about the Greenwood Massacre. And if you look inside of my in my pens, you will see that I had put a specific rapper underneath the pens, underneath there. So I have a story in regarding to that rapper, and also I have a story in regarding to the massacre. So we're going to talk about what happened back then, and we also going to talk about what's going on right now. All right, fam? So before I get started, I want to say Dabada Mashpaka, thank y'all for coming. And I'm going to go ahead and quote Psalms chapter 23. Yahweh is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lay down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He lead me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever. Amen and amen. So let me go ahead and open up this here thing. Tabada mashpaka for coming. All right, so there's the article right there of the Tulsa Massacre. All right, this is what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to parallel it with some history. And it ain't too far away history about what we deal with now today. Mashpaka. And it's going to be regard to something that Acidzz Rocky them had recently done. All right. Let me pull up that real quick. There you go. Acidzz Rocky. There you go. So now the internet is back up and running, fam. They was having a little issue. I think somebody hit a pole or something. And they eradicated the issue. My wife was up all night long trying to figure out how she gonna fix that. All right. So Tulsa Race Massacre happened in 1921. And we're gonna get into that. And we go to Acidzz Rocky. And that's some modern day rappers right there. And this is the guy that Acidzz Rocky and them looked out for and helped out. That's the brother right there. All right. So let me go down and read Acidzz Rocky, and then we're going to get into the history, fam. And they're talking about Joe Fox, how Acidzz Rocky had discovered Joe Fox. Well, discovered that he had talent, but the brother had talent before he, before the brother was found out about by the industry. But Joe Fox, let's look up this right here, and it's got certain things in there. A song that Joe Fox had wrote, a name that we've been studying about, but we don't want to go into that too far tonight. But I will briefly hit over it, Yahweh willing. And I learned a lot of stuff listening to We Woke Now. And I like to give people their flowers, what flowers do. And also I listened to some of the message of one of my pastors that I was under when I was living in Polk County, Pastor Eric Anglin. Y'all please make sure y'all going to check out Pastor Eric Anglin and them. That's our brother. But anyway, and I'm gonna tell y'all something that he said and what I thought about and meditated on to show y'all about how English and how the Hebrew is. All right. But let's go here. How Acidzz Rocky discovered Joe Fox and transformed his career. In 2015, Acidzz Rocky made headlines by recruiting a homeless street performer, Joe Fox, for his critical acclaimed album, A.T. Long. Last Acidzz ALLA, the story of their chance meeting is as unconventional as the music they created together. During an interview with Ebro in the morning, Rocky recounted the early morning he encountered Fox in London around 4 a.m. Now, family, a lot of people don't understand when you're doing music, whether if you was a DJ, whether if you was a rapper or a singer, 4 a.m. it's like work hours, fam. You got to understand that. All right. Now, imagine you in London at 4 a.m. and you working. All right. Fox in London around 4 a.m. After completing a session at producer Mike Dean's studio, exhausted and waiting for an Uber to take him to Starbucks, Rocky noted a young man with a guitar, Joe Fox. All right. So you see that. So exhausted and waiting. So a lot of people say, oh, you get a record deal, you get all this money or whatever, and you good. It's another rap I was listening to yesterday. I'm gonna say it like that because biblically that's yesterday. Yesterday, what we'll be saying was yesterday when we talking about like when the sun was up. So around 4 a.m. after completing a session, and I'll share y'all that rapper name when I'm done, or I'll put his name underneath the description of the video so y'all could go and watch what he had to say, and I subscribe to the brother channel. After completing a session at producer Mike Dean's studio, exhausted and waited for an Uber. So look now, ASAP Rocky was riding in the Uber. A family, they was working. Mike Dean's studio. The studio is the place where they go to work. It's not a play thing. Okay? Exhausted and waited for an Uber to take him to Starbucks because he was hungry. Rocky noticed a young man with a guitar, Joe Fox. Now, brother Dwayne was talking about the brother that we would say is the modern time Michael Jackson that died. And you would think about him, right? How he would be a outside homeless performer, right? How many outside homeless performers do you have? Don't worry, I'm gonna get into it. Joe Fox, right here. I met the man. He was a street performer. Rocky shared, and I believe also brother Urban Apologetics hit on this as well, and a couple of other family members. I believe Sister B Sparrow was hitting on this before, a couple other family, and y'all will have to really go and surf through that because that was a story happened long ago. And I like the way brother Dwayne broke it down, how he was showing our people on what part of the brain that we operating under, but that's not where I'm going with this. And sometimes when you getting ready to do a message, some people say they don't like to, I heard a sister say she don't like to listen to other people's stuff because it will, like when you learn something from somebody, you'll start to grow with that. You know what I mean? So you want to be fresh. And when you come on here, you don't want people to think that you on here to just take from them, because that's a lot going on. And a lot of times I don't think that it's intentional. You know, I got an understanding with that. So if people learn from me and they go with that, but a lot of our people understand what's been going on. And I'm going to hit on that as well. But right here, I'm going to read this. I met the man. He was a street performer. Rocky shared. He tried to give me a CD. And I found. He trying to get him a CD. Now, this is 2017. And we know that CDs, people was mainly going online, downloading stuff for free and whatever online. So buying a CD, think about that. That's another thing we got to talk about. I met the man. He was a street performer. Rocky shared. He tried to give me a CD. And I was like, I'm not about to listen to that, man. Play something. You got the guitar? He played it. And I was just like, stop, man. Come on, let's go. That's where it started. Despite being unfamiliar with Rocky's music, he ain't have to listen to him for years and chill at his crib and all that, at his house and go to all his shows. He heard that music, and that right there reminds me of Motown, how they used to go around and how they found young talent out there. You know what I'm saying? How they used to go out there and find a young talent and bring them to the place of business and put them to work. Y'all understand? Despite being unfamiliar with Rocky's music, Fox raw talent earned him a spot on 5 tracks from ALLA, including Max B, Holy, and Jukebox Joints. And that's why I want to say this right now before I forget. Well, it say holy. If you look inside of the book of Job, look inside of your Strong's Concordance, look up that word ghost. And it's gonna give you the accurate definition of that word. It does not mean spirit, fam. But in English, we have adopted to a lot of things. So I'm not trying to get on the brother. All of us, a lot of us at that time, I used to do the song, that Harvey Watkins song back in the day. Jeremiah said it's like fire shut up in my bone. I used to sing that walking all through the city, saying that in church and all. So I'm not trying to come at it in the way that a lot of people may probably take it. But we got to get to this English thing, man. But anyway, jukebox joints in Hebrew is Rawak Yahweh. All right, because Rawak Yahweh, that's his name. He is a him. All right, jukebox joints. Fox newfound exposure didn't stop there. Though his connection with A$AP Rocky, he found himself at a party where he met Queen Bridge. Legend Nas, Nas, all I need is one mic, which eventually led to a collaboration with the rapper on the 2017 track, What's the World? All right, and that's how he got started. And a lot of people probably don't know that even Pac was homeless at one time. Now we see there's a problem with the economics of our people. If we had a home base, you know what I mean? We need a home base, fam. And let me show you what happened with our home base, because a lot of us need to understand there has been plenty of issues that happen that cause us to be in the position that we're in. This right here is the Britannica, fam. And this also was inside a historical textbook. This is inside of the American governmental archives, this story right here, because this right here is not something that's fictional or made up. Let me take you through some of the pictures. This is Tulsa, Oklahoma right here. All this was towed down. This is what they were saying that we don't need no reparations for, fam. All right. Let's go over here. Look at this. They say we don't need no reparations for this. That's the one y'all see on the top of y'all screen right there. We go to the last one. That's the hospital that a lot of the survivors had went into. This is what they shut down. They shut this down to compensate the descendants of these people right here. And that's us, family. They shut it all down. Let's look. This brother lost an arm. Did they all break the law? They was in hospital beds. Yiqwaba say he ain't gonna forget. A lot of people died. Nobody gave this brother this suit. So let's go back in here. All right, let's go back in here. So I'm gonna read this right here. The Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921 was one, because it ain't the only one, was one of the most severe incidents of racial violence. You know, that black and white race that people never signed up for, but they born to race against each other. Incidents of racial violence in U.S., not in us, but in the U.S. And in the U.S. history, it occurred in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not in the imaginations of people, because if it was an imagination, then we do need to forget. beginning on May the 31st, 1921. It's good to remember stuff. But if we remember it, what are we going to do to eradicate the situation as a people? May the 31st, 1921, and lasting for 2 days. For 2 days. The massacre left somewhere between 30 and 300 people dead. Mostly Black Americans, they say African Americans, and destroyed Tulsa's prosperous Black neighborhood of Greenwood. Why was other people hurt? Because if somebody come at you sideways, striking you, it's only lawful for you to defend yourself. So when they fight back, the other people that got hit, they should never been over there bombing people. Destroyed Tulsa's prosperous Black neighborhood of Greenwood, known as Black Wall Street. And a lot of people testify that this is recent history to them in knowledge, because a lot of people kept this a secret. They knew that it happened. More than 1,400 homes and businesses, right here, and businesses, homes, and a lot of these, the ancestors of the people of the Tulsa race massacre are homeless in the country that they built for free. Black Wall Street, more than 1,400 homes and businesses, not lazy places. Businesses were burned, and nearly 10,000 people were left homeless. Despite its severity and destructiveness, and how come the majority of people that's homeless in America and all around the world is the people that built up all of the countries for free? Despite its severity and destructiveness, the Tulsa race, is you black or white, massacre was barely mentioned in history books until the late 90s, when a state commission was formed to document the incident. Like we documenting our identity in these latter days. On May the 30th, but now they calling us a terrorist organization. Do y'all know that that happened back then when our ancestors was documenting their identity back then? Remember the Light and Truth book? That was them doing it then. And they blocked that, and they went against it back then. On May the 30th, 1921, Dick Rowland, a young African-American shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting a white elevator operator named Sarah Page. And I learned this when I was in elementary, because volunteers from the NAACP, when they was doing stuff with the community, because of the people that I knew in the community, they really did love the people they did. They gave away food. They used to come out to the school and volunteer. They weren't getting paid. They come out there and teach the youth about the history. A white elevator operator named Sarah Page, in the elevator of a building in downtown Tulsa. The next day, the Tulsa Tribune printed a story saying that Rowland had tried to essay Page. Now this right here, this is why a lot of our people say don't just go up and make erroneous claims without evidence, because we have a history. We have a history of people lying and saying people essayed people. So that's why you need to have evidence before you just go up and make erroneous claims and expect for everybody that's victims of this right here to just jump on it and say, oh, we agree with it without no evidence. Just tell me, convince me against it. And I can't get mad at the children today because they say that the children ain't learning half of the stuff we learned in school. But we need to be teaching our children at home, teaching our nephews, nieces, cousins, and kindred according to our flesh. This, wherever we live at, this don't need to be forgotten. This don't need to be forgotten. And I'm gonna, okay, now, Pastor Eric Anglin said he was true. He was telling the truth about this. Believe, it means be and leave. Be and leave in English, okay? But in Hebrew, when you say be, when you say ba, it means eat. Eat it. Ba means eat. But the peculiar thing about believe and abar, it is amath. Amath. And some say aman. Amath means faith, belief. Aman means I agree. I agree. Okay? So when you say amath, that starts with the alap. Ma is water. Tha is sign. All right? Chief water sign. Amath. Faith. All right? Ba means eat. So when you say ba amath, in faith. Ba amath, in belief. And that means believe. In belief. All right? So you eat faith. You eat the belief. You take it in the inside of you. It becomes a part of you. When you drink water, ba mayam, when you drink water, ba mayam pa, in your mouth, that means it's going inside of your body. They say that in science, our body is 90. I think they say 90% built up of water, and the rest is adama, is earth. And the earth was taken out of apar. Apar. Out of Africa, off the ground, off the earth. Okay? And the adama and the mayam is what builds up how your body was formed. Mashbaka. All right? So when you eat the word, when you eat faith, Yahweh said, a man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Allahayim. All right, so you must, ba'amath dabar, eat the word, eat the word, the speech, the words that come out of Allahayim's mouth. All right, so this is what we must do with our history. Ba'amath, eat it. It's a part of you anyway. Let's not walk around pretentiously, mashbaka. I'm not saying that that's what Pastor was saying, but that's the difference between English and Abar culture. English culture is forget about it. It's the past. No reparations. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. But in Abar and our culture, with the Thara, it is restitution. Fix it. Don't ignore it. But we have two mindsets. There is, because every nation has a malak over it. Every nation has an angel over it, mashbaka. So in every nation, there is a malak over it. Gabayan has all the Gabayan, all the nations, all the Gentiles. Gabayan, Yasharal is Gabayan as well. But called out from the other Gabayan to be a light to the Gabayan of the other nations, of the Arats, of the kingdoms. So we as Kabashyam, Alahayim, sheep of Yahweh, we need to keep Yahweh's word in our mouth. Keep justice in our mouth, in our heart, because that's why Allah called Abraham, because he said he knew that Abraham would teach his, not teach his seed to keep justice, to keep righteousness. And when we stray away from justice and righteousness, even towards ourselves, we are not keeping Bamadabar, Alahayim, the words of Yahweh, but we're fleeing away from it. We Darak away from it. But Brother Darak say he Abar. All right? Darak Abar. He running for Yahweh. He's a Hebrew. All right? Tribune printed a story saying that Roland had tried to essay Page. And why are the victims censored? The children, your children should not understand this? Is it unlawful for children to hear these things? It should be at the parents' discretion. But I understand why media has put up a age bracket so that people would be able to sift through it at their own leisure, because some parents don't believe that their children should know certain harsh things in certain type of ways. So there is a PG-13, but all of it looked the same to me nowadays. But Roland had tried to essay Page with an accompanying editorial stating that a lynching, and this is what we call what Hamashiach was hung on a tree. And how come these people is suffering the same like suffering of Hamashiach? How come we're reaping what our ancestors did, but they say the curse is no more? We can confess, but even Abana and Sha'awal was lynched. Apostle Sha'awal was beheaded. Abana was lynched upside down, Mashbaka. Hamashiach was lynched. Some scholars say that the Apostle Yachanan was thrown inside of boiling oil. But records do show inside of the Torah, inside of the scripture, that the apostle was shipped off to the island of Patmos. The Apostle Yachanan, he was righteous. He was an apostle. And if we don't believe the Bamadabar, the words of Yahweh through their testimony, we can't be saved. But it's an accompanying editorial starting that a lynching, a hanging on a tree, like Hamashiach was hung, was planned for that night, for that Layala. That evening, Arab, mobs of both Abar, that's called bywords in the lands of their captivity, according to the prophets, if you believe in Hamashiach. In the book of Luke, chapter 21, there's a prophecy of Hamashiach, of after the temple is destroyed, then the southern tribe must be scattered into the four corners of the earth as captives. And Laban descendants. Laban means white. And the Europeans that said that they were Laban, if you look inside of the Bible concordance, it says Japheth, the father of the white races. Ham, the father of the dark races, not the Negroes. All right? So Negroes were not put in there as Ham. Prophecy didn't put Negroes as Ham or Japheth, It didn't put him as neither of those. The scriptures about the people who will be restorated, the people who will be redeemed, which means restored back to their kingdom, who are sent as war captives into the four corners of the earth. There is no prophecy of that being Hamites. There's no prophecy of that being whosoever will, that need redemption from being war captives, put up under the yoke of another people. But that people is the tribe that they call Yasharal. So let me keep on reading. And Laban and whites, descendants of the courthouse, on the courthouse where Roland was being held, when a confrontation between an armed Negro American man. Why was he armed? Do Negroes have the right to defend themselves? There to protect Roland, an innocent Israelite. According to prophecy, that's who he was. But according to things that is against prophecy, the understanding of the prophetic words of the apostles, of Hamashiach, of Allahayim himself, of Masha, of the prophets like Jeremiah, like Joel, and all the rest of them, Yeshaya, Isaiah, all of them prophesied about the scattering of the southern tribe. Now that temple was destroyed. So when you look inside of history, the temple of Solomon was destroyed. Then it was rebuilt. Hamashiach came on the earth, the temple was destroyed. Now, there was a history that was taken out of your scripture. The Maccabean period, which is the Grecian Empire that was prophesied in the book of Daniel to happen. But strangely, that book vanished out of your Bible text. And now you can go and pick it up as an apocryphal. Apocryphal is Italian, which that's the same nationality and bloodline that the Pope spoke, that the Romans spoke. And that's exactly who Christopher Columbus was, an Italian. In their language, apocryphal means hidden. So that means somebody made an asserted effort in taking it out and hiding it. But somebody released it. So the one that hid it was their ancestors. But in order for you to be able to read it, the descendants of that ancestor had to do something so that you will be able to read what was in the past hidden. So he had to do a restoration act of taking up scrolls that were hidden and publishing it so that you will be able to read it. So one of the popes of the Roman leaders released the books, released the scrolls so that you'll be able to read it. So if you want to read the book of Maccabees, it is because it has been published. But that book is not from modern days. That book was on the earth when Hamashiach was walking on the earth, because that was inside of the original 1611. That was translated out of the original Hebrew scrolls. They just found the Qumran scrolls in the caves not too long ago. And a white protester, which is the seed of Japheth according to Strong's Concordance, resulted in the death of the latter. The white mob, which is now the sheriff and the police department, the white mob was incensed, and Tulsa Massacre was thus ignited. So the root of the sheriff and police department, there you go. Over the next 2 days, mobs of Japhetic people, of white people, looted, that means stole, and set fire to diasporians in North America, businesses and homes, Bayath, throughout the city. Many of the mob's members were recently returned. World War I. Have y'all heard about World War I? Veterans trained in the use of firearms and are said to have shot Israelite people Israelite captives on sight after they came out of war defending America. They came back to America and they were being shot on sight by sheriff department and police department, the roots of their setup. Some survivors even claim that people in airplanes dropped incendiary bombs. These were witnesses on site, Mashpaka. When the massacre ended on June the 1st, the official death toll was recorded at 10 whites and 26 African Americans. Throughout, many experts now believe, at least because they found graves and stuff and a lot of stuff on memorial centers, at least 300 people were killed. Shortly after the massacre, there was a brief official inquiry, but documents related to the massacre disappeared. So how can you trust the credibility of people that's tampering with evidence? Soon afterwards, the event never received widespread attention and was long noticeably absent from the history books used to teach Oklahoma school children. In 1997, a Tulsa Race Riot Commission was formed by the state of Oklahoma to investigate the massacre and formally document. This is why it's important for you to remember and keep accurate documentation. By the state of Oklahoma to investigate the massacre. And formally document the incidents. Members of the commission gathered accounts of survivors who were still alive. And if y'all been paying attention, they was on the news. You seen the elder? That's our people. They got the same blood rolling through their vein. The same blood rolling through their vein was rolling through Abraham's vein, if you believe inside of the scripture. Because the scriptures say that Abraham know of a surety that your seed shall be strangers in a land that is not theirs. And they will serve them there 400 years in that strange land. Documents from individuals who witnessed the massacre, but has since died. And other historical evidence, scholars use the accounts of witnesses and ground-piercing radar to locate a potential mass grave, what I just told y'all about, outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma cemetery. Suggested the death toll may be, and this was told to them by a witness. Grave just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma cemetery, graveyard, tombs, suggested the death toll may be much higher than the original records indicated. In its preliminary recommendations, the commission suggested that the state of Oklahoma pay $33 million in restitution. And those judges sitting upon their judgment seats shut that down, family. But let me read on. Because if restitution is not biblical, then why was Yiqwaba having that written down inside of the scripture? Is that love for restitution? Some of it to the 121 surviving victims who had been located. They also have descendants, but it don't matter about descendants, even though you're supposed to leave something for your descendants for every generation. It's an abomination for you not to leave your children something. But according to how this is being treated, the descendants, it don't matter about them. because your parents, according to how it's being treated, ain't supposed to leave you nothing. However, no legislative action has ever been taken on the recommendation. So why are we trying to help everybody else when we need to be helping each other right now? It ain't nothing wrong with you helping other folk if you can, but we need to come together and build something with each other. The commission had no power to force legislation. Why you think a lot of our people leaving out of LA? They completely ignored our people, so they left and came back down to the South. In the 1930s, I believe in the 1920s, that's when a lot of our people started leaving out of the South and going up north because they said it was jobs up there. Now they putting them out of there because they bringing in other people. And they ain't never paid no restoration or anything. And they shut down that bill. They didn't even let it pass through. And the sad thing about it, you have the very people that have your blood running through their veins. They'll be used as the one to blame, but keep on shutting it down. The commission final report. So we see the purpose of a bellwether Negro to keep shutting down petitions. Was published on February 28, 2001 and April 2002. A private religious church. So if the rulers in full shut down restoration of this, are they not all guilty of Allahayim and have blood all on their hands? Because they let these people die without even seeing this being done. They let them go to sleep, but just trust and believe that Allahayim is paying attention to everything, no matter how far people dig their finger inside their ear and pretend like there is nothing that has been done here, and that Allahayim has hid his face, and he ain't gonna discover their secret sins. Paid total, look at this. But guess what they was doing? They was paying everybody else money. They was giving out trillions and billions of dollars. Now, are we to sit down and wait and beg other people if we can't scrap together our stuff? Because our fathers and our mothers, they didn't wait for the government to help them. They built all that by themselves. All of it. They didn't wait. But does that mean that the government has no moral ground that they need to fix, that they need to stand on? No, that does not take away their accountability in doing anything. I'm talking to the people who are victims, not the people who are victims and because they trying. They need to be reclassified as never went through nothing because they came up with all this stuff by themselves. By the hand and the strength of Allahayim, and built up their own stuff. Nobody didn't want them inside of their stuff, so they left and built up their own. Remember what I told y'all about the sheep? Strike the shepherd and the sheep were scattered. The leadership is struck in the land and the sheep were scattered. In the diaspora, in the leader that stood up, they struck the leader. And guess what happened to the vision? The people, the sheep scattered. The kabashiam scattered. Paid a total, and we are told to remember everybody else's atrocity. We're told to remember 9/11. We're told to remember everything. And when it come down to our stuff, we're treated like we're being hateful because we are trying to get our people to understand that a crime has been done here. And we need to come together as a family. And I know, since I grew up here, down here yonder in the South. I'm gonna say it like my grandma and them. Since I grew up down here young in the South here. I might not understand when grandmama said, go over yonder and wrench me that rag young. But if you're around your grandma and them long enough, you'll understand, you'll catch on when she say, hench me that skillet. I ain't know what grandma was talking about. I was going and handing her something and they thought I was hard of hearing. But when you're around your parents, when who they are as a person rub off on you, a part of them leave with, they give it to you. But why should we be told that our fathers and our mothers need to keep their mouth quiet about our history and about our identity and about where we came from? As if this all that it is on this earth is that you live and you eat and sleep and die, and that's all that it is. The scripture say in the book of wisdom, another book that was taken out of your scrolls, that's how the wicked think. They let us just eat, sleep, and die, for there ain't nothing after this. But that's how a fool think. The fool has said in his heart, there is no Allah. There he is, a hereafter. You got to get up. There is a day of reckoning that is coming upon us and also upon the nations for what they have done unto us according to the prophets. Why is the kingdoms going to be judged? Because that's what world mean. Arats, it mean kingdom. Kingdoms. Why are they going to be judged? The scripture said in the book of Yiqwaba, because of the crimes, because of what they did unto his people after they scattered them into the diaspora. The prophet said they took it too far. Now let's read on. Pay a total of $28,000 to survivors, a little more than $200 each. $200 each. Did y'all get y'all $200, family? Descendants of the people who were brought over here that was never paid restitution. All of y'all came out from these people. These is your bloodline people in North America. And some of y'all fled during times of slavery down to Mexico and different places. But I'm talking to the people of the transatlantic slave trade war. Paid a total of $28K to the survivors. Now, if you break up $28K, you can find out. So this way you come in with your mathematics skills, which you need to remember. Break that down, Mashbaka. Some of y'all is mathematicians. I wasn't that good in math. I'm gonna need me a calculator to break this down. So how many times can you get 200 inside of $28,000? Is that how many of us is in these countries? 28K to the survivors, a little more than $200 each. Ask yourself this question. Can you build movie theaters like they had in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Can you build car lots? Cause they had cars out there. Probably was steam cars, but they had cars out there. Can you build multi-billion-dollar companies back again? Because that's how much these companies will be worth today. Can you build stores where they sell music and every type of stuff in there? Can you build all the venues back with $200 a piece? If you put it all together, this all you're going to come out with if you put all of it together. But don't forget that you got to eat. Don't forget that rent go up and everything. Anytime y'all get something, that's when they raise up everything. But have y'all gotten any of this? Anyway, let's keep on going. Each using funds raised from private donation. So private people did this. Not the people that the slaves were sold to, but private citizens did this. They raised up $28K, and that we're thankful for y'all for that. But every last one of us didn't get a piece of that to build nothing. So out of these $28K, how can they build up anything with this hymn? How they gonna pay their brother and sister out of this here hymn? How they gonna put up money for collateral and all that right there for the businesses that they're gonna set up with $28K, family, if they all getting $200 a piece? And a lot of people is homeless. Do y'all know how many people I seen homeless down here in Florida alone? And what the area where I went to go and visit my mother at? Do you know rent is more than this right here? On a movie that they did back in the day, what Will Smith wife was playing in, Damian Wayans had her $2. She said, "What I'm finna get with that, a keychain?" using funds, but it was a good just so it's just like giving them a gift card, you know what I mean? Giving them like we send you our condolences cards. So that's, you know, that is a good gesture to do if that's all you can afford to do. So it's no front against the people that gave out of the charity of their heart. Don't think that that's what I'm trying to say. Each using funds raised, no, but it wasn't given to the descendants. It was just given to a portion of the descendants. Each using funds raised from private donations. In 2010, John Hope Franklin Reconciliation Park was opened in Greenwood District to memorialize the massacre named, for historian and civil rights advocate John Hope Franklin, whose father survived the massacre. The park features the Tower of Reconciliation, a 25-foot metric tall sculpture. Can you, family? That commemorates, but that's what J-Fit them like to do. They like statues, family. We got that's what our cousins them like. They like to build up statues. They children of Adam, so they is your cousins. But they love statues, family. We just need to accept the fact that a lot of the Cedar J-Fit, they love statues. They like that, just like they like puppy dogs. Negro American struggle. I don't reckon they meant any harm by it, fam. They just like to build up statues and idols. They like that. Negro American struggle. Greenwood Rising, a history center honoring Negro Wall Street. I guess they say it is. This is the best we can. If this is all we can get and pull together and do, then this is what we're gonna do, buddy. You know, we're trying our best now. You know, all right. They're doing their best, fam, with what they got, and that's all you can ask from a person. But I'm asking us as a people, if the Cedar J-Fed can pull up 28K. then we need to be trying to pull up some money to build up stuff for our people. We need to at least trying to be building up some of these stores. We got the little sister, they got the Barbie doll situation going on with her store. I heard that they took all of the money out of her account. Shalom, Sister Knit, y'all. I heard that the little baby, they took all the money out of her little account. All the millions out of her account. She been doing that since she was a real little girl, and they took all the money out of there. That little baby was doing that account way before they even thought about anything. That little baby was doing that. How that little baby gonna sit there? Oh, let me be the smartest little girl that ever existed on the earth, smarter than Albert Einstein and everybody. And just, you see how they did? They took all the money out of the account. Then they said they're gonna put it back in there. That's the story that was rolling across on TikTok. I want to say something about it because I saw it. Memorializing the victims of the massacre. So, to give to a couple of Negroes $200 a piece to show that we understand y'all situation, but they not the only descendants. Not saying that they ain't descendants, but they're not the only descendants. I heard the elder saying she wanted for all her people because she knew that all her people were descendants of the people who been through all these riots, because that's not the only one anyway, no matter where our people was. If something happened to your granddaddy and your cousin and your uncle and them, just because you were staying down there in Texas, don't mean that that wasn't a part of your family. Just because you staying in Georgia and it happened, if something happened deep down in Florida, and just because you went up there to New York to go down there for a job or something and left from down there and went up to New York in the 1920s to 30s, during the time when there was sharecropping and all type of stuff, to go out there to see if you could find work up there, up, down, up north, up there yonder. They come back down, and the people that come down from the north, they come down here with summer clothes on and dead up winter there. But then your kinfolk, they left from the south and they went up north. Some of them may come from Puerto Rico, and they say, "Hey, brother and sister, how you doing?" in Spanish, with the afro in their head, with the nap on the side. Whose father survived the massacre. The park features the Tower of Reconciliation. Some of them might come from England, and they say, "Hello, mate," because we are the people. We the people that was victims of the transatlantic slave trade war. Then you got to go back in your mind, look inside the Bible. Okay, if the Bible said that these are the people who will be scattered on slave ships, and since people saying it don't matter, no matter where you go, but that you the people that was shipped on slave ships and fulfilled the Bible prophecy, then think about your brothers and sisters in Africa that was going through apartheid. Think to yourself, the 10 tribes, think about them. And some of the southern that was still in there. Think about them. And think about, if we are adopted by Yahweh Shai, then would it not be robbery, since our ethnicity, since our tribes are wrapped up in him, for us to say that we are Yahweh, the kingdom of Yahweh? Because all the kingdoms is going to go back to Yerushalayim anyway. It's going to be the capital again. And Yahweh Shai, why would he say it is a transgression for you to say that we are Yahweh, Judah? But some of our brothers and sisters know who they come from in Africa. They know who they is in Africa. But if you're supposed to forget, then I guess you ain't supposed to talk to your people. Think about it. The Acidzz sister, Sirat and Junku, she trying to tell our people, look, the Acidzz people are the Hebrew people. We are the Israelite. All right? Our brother Marty, Frederick and y'all say that the Acidzz are the Acidzz, because the wa is the va inside of Acidzz language. So when you see a wa, that's a va. But that is by time, your language and sound of it may change a bit. But those are the descendants of the people who see, you got to think about this thing and put the puzzle together. Kabashiam Alahayim. Memorializing. You got to memorialize this. The victims keep the scent of your kingdom. Keep the scent of your kingdom. Like the ancestors keep the scent of the trail when they bring in the bread, the lacham, bayath, in the tent, in the house, bringing the bread in the house, memorializing the victims of the massacre, and telling its story was established in 2021 by the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre Continental Commission, founded in 2015. And there has been nothing done to fix it, family. Nothing has done to fix it. Now let's look and see where it was located. Y'all see Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas. Y'all see New Mexico, Texas right there. Y'all see Oklahoma, Black Wall Street right there. Colorado, they go Texas. Where did these people, who is these people right here that experienced this catastrophe, family? Who is these people? who got the blood running inside their veins. If they come back, if they come to America, shouldn't they be able to come to a place where they can get help? Shouldn't there be businesses set up where they can go out there and recruit these children off of the street that's out there performing out there? They got talents, they got gifts that could be used for the building of the kingdom. Of your kingdom that was destroyed. We're not a people that came from a kingdom that's built on presidents. We came from a kingdom that was built on kings, because we were not president people. We didn't elect a president. The closest thing we could say to a president was the Kohan that was elected once every year by Yahweh. The Kohan, the Levite, the high priest inside of the temple. How could we fix this situation? By being silent and just allowing things to keep on going how they going. I think ASAP Rocky reached out and helped the brother to get on his feet. Now, they say that Suge Knight used to do all he can to pay he would get all the youth. I heard Brother Muta say that how Suge Knight would pay them. They had a diary. Snoop Dogg them say they had a diary and they would pay them. And when your leaders get locked up and all type of stuff, what happens to the people? You see how they let Donald Trump out? Because they say we need him more than we need him locked up. We need our brothers and sisters out of the prison so they could be an asset to the people. And if they feel like they need to do their time, then let's let them do their time in peace. But still inside of our heart, we know we need more of our people out here that's willing to put their foot to the pavement and help people like me, help people like this brother right here, and help also lead the other brother that helped him out. Because your gray head is experience. Back then when I was watching Snoop them on TV, we was looking at him as a big boy, as one of the big boys on TV, looking at Muta, Bailey, and them on TV. Do you know that it's not so much as starstruck when you see one of your people on TV successful? I don't want to see our people keep going down. And we see there's a narrative going around. Anytime, it's always this way. When you want to take them down, you accuse them of SAing somebody. Let's stop being a cheerleader. If people have evidence, let them present it to the courts. Let's stop going around being cheerleaders. They need proper due process. But we need our people to be on foot to the pavement. Let's stop making our people afraid to come out and help. And we as a people, we need to start handling situations in our community like we used to. Now, I'm just gonna make up a name, Old Jimbo. If Old Jimbo was doing something, then you know, the men of the community went and got Old Jimbo in order. So if Old Jimbo did something, then everybody made Jimbo get his act right. You didn't have to call them folk out every time something happened. Old Jimbo got his act together. Next time you seen Old Jimbo, he probably had knots and stuff on side his head. But guess what? Old Jimbo knew his place. The children was acting up. Mama and daddy took out their belt and they did not spare the rod. Guess what? Now some of them, they are doctors, lawyers. And then when they was a child, they didn't like that. But when they grew up, they was grateful that their mother and daddy did not spare the rod. So Instead of us always trying to reach out to figure out what other folk can do for us, let's start looking at what we can do for one another. Let me look up the brother name and share his video underneath this video right here so y'all can go and catch up on some of the things that I had listening to today. Y'all please go and support these people. Life of Miss Billion, a chef. She's a chef. Go and support Sister Yiqwaba. My wife Valentina putting down poetry on her page. She working hard. My wife support me. Go and support my wife family. Let's appreciate one another. Brother Philip Scott got a huge platform that he built from scratch by hard labor, and y'all giving him scrim. Go and support the brother platform. There's many of our brothers and sisters. You could go and look through my home screen, family, and you'll see plenty of brothers and sisters on the home screen. Go and support the brothers and sisters. If your brother and sister got a show coming up, if we start setting up opportunities for our people that have jobs to be able to work in stores and stuff, they'll be able to go and pay to go and see the shows and stuff that's going on, because our people need to be around each other. I watched a show on Brother Mike page, how he was out there, and they was out there singing, family. I felt so good listening to our people out there singing, getting along, out there singing. And Brother Mike was playing that guitar like he was a rock star. Come on, fam. What should we gonna do? Just sit there and roll up in the corner? Godfrey, a lot of the brother and sister, Godfrey over there, he's showing you the Gullah tour. You got the comedian Godfrey. You got a lot of brothers and sisters that you need to get to know, family. Let's not wait till we gone on and sleeping in our grave before we realize that we need to love our people. We know we got uncles that, that sit up and, they tell jokes on you. That's your uncle, that's your brother, that's your sister. Y'all's chosen, that's your sister. I remember growing up, a lot of our brothers and sisters, we used to sit down and talk about, we seen the alien fly down the sky. Family, come on, let's stop being so hard on one another. There's a way to correct. Look, this brother, his name is, I don't know how to say your name, bro. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. Acidzz, I think. But I'm finna share his page underneath here and let him tell you his name. I came on here to encourage the family to come together. This is what we need to do. That's the brother page, and I'm gonna post his video underneath the description underneath this video. So y'all, if y'all share my video, y'all sharing all the family video, and I want y'all to share their video like y'all sharing mine, and I want to share y'all's like y'all sharing mine. Let's work together. Teamwork can make the dream work, fam. How they say in football, teamwork make the dream work, fam. Go and support our brother Moshe, the commentator. Go and support your brother Moshe being Yehuda. Go and support your brother Monster Moshe. Go and support your family. Show your family that you love them. Go and support K. Judah. Throw him up a like if you see his video and you learn something from him. Go and support Pastor Kelly page. We woke now. Throw him up a like. If you see Benaiah Israel doing something and you get something from it, go and support the brother and sister. If you say I could go and buy me a Pepsi and I'm finna buy 3, go and take out one of them 99-cent Pepsi and go and throw $1 on Sister Yiqwaba books. Help your people out. Let the help go around. This is the Negro-thon. We're doing a Negro-thon here. Make the help go around, fam. All right, fam, I'm about to get off here. If you see your brother and sister in Africa, help your brother and sister out. If you can. If you can't, you can't. And brothers and sisters, we need to be honest with each other. We don't need to, see, if we get our act together, when Yiqwaba come back, we don't have to be around here squindling one another. If you don't need it and you just using somebody, you don't have to use them. Ask them for help if you need help. They shouldn't have to go through all of the, and if I remember my grandma and them say, if you give to somebody and they using you, guess what? Y'all's gonna deal with them. We need to get back into understanding that y'all will deal with people. Whatever you give liberally out of your heart, Yiqwaba will bless you. And you ain't got to sound no alarm before everybody. Brother Willie D, do something that you like, throw Brother Willie D a love card. Throw him 99 cents. Throw him a love gift card if that's all you can afford. You see, because when I first came on here, I ain't come on here to get money. I ain't come on here for none of that. But when I open up a project or something, I would love for my brother and sister to support me. If my sister or my brother come out with a brand new drink or something and they trying to put it in the store, and because we know it's our brother and sister drink, let's buy one. Say, oh, somebody bought a drink. Somebody bought a drink all the way down there in Tallahassee. Who bought that drink? Never know, but it was an anonymous donor that went inside the store and bought the drink. They gave in secret. They see, when you support your brother and sister's businesses at these stores, you giving in secret because they don't know who bought it. All they know, unless you take a census, all you know is that, man, somebody bought the Barbie doll. Man, somebody bought the shoe I had made over there. Somebody bought the shoe in Missouri. Somebody bought my shoe. Somebody bought my hair braid. You know what I'm saying? Support your brother and sister. Watch how you feel after you know what you're doing. If you see a European stuff, if you like it, get it. But don't neglect your brother and sister. You ain't got to hate other folk. If you like Calvin Klein, if you want to just wear Calvin Klein, wear him. But if your brother and sister got a drink up there at the stand up there and it ain't nothing but 99 cents, get the drink, fam. If you can afford it, just get the drink. Because you're going to buy a Pepsi anyway. Just get the drink. You know what I mean? Fam, that's what I want to say. And I'm going to leave off here with this. I want to say shalom. I hope you enjoy the track that I had got set up for y'all. And I want to say shalom. And if there's any brother and sister that want to help me out with anything, you can. And if whatever I could do, I help you. But just reach out to me. My information is in my About Me section on my page. I'm not about games. I really want to work with our people. And if a stranger, a Gentile from another nation want to reach out and work with me, I'm down, man. Reach out to me. My description, Yiqwaba @gmail.com. Reach out to me. And I want to say shalom to your family. I love you, and hopefully we'll start having family reunions. Hopefully we'll start having nation reunions where we coming together as a nation. The Gentiles come together as a nation. The other nations come together as a nation. Then what do we need to do? Shalom Ashpaka.
Almost beautiful among women.
#1 radio station.
By the footsteps of the flock. And feed your kids beside the shepherd's tents. I've compared you to the company of horsemen and now listen here, let me tell you something. I ain't going nowhere, let me show you. Cause you all I need and the woman up. I ain't done yet, but just moment. I get your popcorn and just sit back. Go close your eyes. Let me whisper to you from the river out of y'all made a bone. The bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. You were more precious than the gold of the diamond. If I hold them up on the scale, that's a mockery. And ain't nobody else. I got my own sister, so I drink on a daily basis. I won't resign, no guilt up here, bed on the file, so we trust in the hill. A real beauty that I like to see. Salivated on sight, she the one for me. I'm on the squeeze like an orange every time that I see her. You the only woman for me to the end of my life. Wanna serve you like a man should. Till the last time I chose you to be mine, so I left daddy in my house, so we joined like a vine. See, the love of my heart won't die, no. You the best that ever had, babe. You the best it ever had. You the best it ever had, babe. Now could you stay, could you stay? You the best it ever had, babe. You the best it ever had. You the best it ever had, babe. You the best. Now people acting like we wrong for the E-Ross, but who care what they say? I wrote a song for the babe. Beautiful black queen, give me a kiss in the way. Let her love spread like a palm tree in the bay. My bird told them when I see you working on it. My name got praise in the street, pay you work, ain't looking for nobody else, baby, you out there. JJ, give away, get back, ain't playing. In the cold world, you still faithful. Real daughters, I ain't lying, it's so straight. Lot of sister honor, but this one I gave you. Daughter of a judge, so I gotta treat you right. If I don't love you, then my prayer won't work. It don't matter how another look good in a skirt or a t-shirt or whatever on. And no matter what I feel, got my mind at home. Ain't nobody better than nobody. Got a woman that I love, pretty lady, you don't kill, bust a buzz or a tilt. I feel elated, my rap songs only abbreviate. I'm a feel, ain't that real? Dedicated to set apart love. Not an animated or overrated. Instead you waiting for where to be back. You know me, so I dedicated to the day that I go to sleep, and that's all. You the best that ever had, babe. You the best that ever had. You the best that ever had, babe. Now could you stay, could you stay? You the best that ever had, babe. You the best that ever had. You the best that ever had, babe. You the best. You the best that ever had, babe. You the best that ever had. You the best that ever had, babe. Could you stay, could you stay? You the best that ever had, babe. You the best that ever had. You the best that ever had, babe. You the best. Marriage is honorable. In the bed under fire. I know the world wanna make marriage between a man and a woman look evil, but that's what all the higher made our dom and Yiqwaba to do. To till the earth. A lot of us done lost our compass, done lost our way. Need to return back to the way, the truth, for the life.
You are now tuned in to your #1 radio station.